Alright, it's time for the final vacuum of the night, which is the Aerus Lux Guardian Platinum. I've wanted one of these since they came out, but, you know, they haven't been super common on eBay, and you usually had to pay a ton of money for them, and, you know, I'll admit, I definitely paid a lot of money for a used vacuum for this one, but I had to know if these things were good, and if I'm being honest, not super impressed with this. This is not your average Electrolux. I mean, in the last 20 years, Electrolux seems like it can be a million things. Like, you're talking about like a Eureka Electrolux or the like Aerus Electrolux. Like, it's gotten very weird lately. Now this one, this isn't a like Eureka Electrolux or really a Aerus Electrolux, even though it says it on the front. This is a Lux International Electrolux. Like, they made vacuums like the Lux Royal, and in Europe this is called a Lux Intelligence, or I think maybe like a Sauber Intelligence in Australia. It's very kind of strange, but anyway, this is a European-made canister, unlike something like an Epic or Renaissance or Guardian, like Royal Guardian. Like, those would all be U.S.-made canisters, I believe, made in Aerus's Virginia plant. But anyways, so this looks a lot like a modern vacuum, and honestly, the canister unit is probably the part of the vacuum that I had the least complaints about. But I will say, it is a huge canister, like, compared to that, like, Cibo C3 or K3 I have there, which, I mean, yeah, the K3 is a compact model, but it handles way better than this one. This has got, unlike the Cibo, which has 4 swivel casters and a kind of top-mounted freely swiveling hose, this has like 2 wheels in the back, 1 caster in the front, and a hose that sticks out of the front of the vacuum. So what happens when I try to move around the vacuum, you can see that the vacuum actually needs to like turn around to like meet my position, which is kind of obnoxious for a modern vacuum. I do like that the vacuum has 2 carrying handles, kind of like Soniclean. Like, you have this one up front, which is kind of nice for you to, if you want to carry the canister around. And then you got one right here, which is good if you're carrying the vacuum up and down stairs. But now, if you watch my other canister videos, like that I recorded tonight, you'll notice that all the Powerhead models, the Cibo C3.1, the Miele S500 with the SB228, and the Lindhaus, all of those Powerheads had a handle lock, but not this thing. Like, this Powerhead, like, I do not like it. It's not the worst I've used. Like, in terms of, like, if I was gonna rank every Powerhead I'd use, like, I'd probably say my favorites, like the ET1, followed by the Lindhaus, followed by the SEB228 from the Miele, followed by the Simplicity Taconi full-size head. Then you got this one, and only 2 I'd say were worse are like the Filter Queen one that comes on my Royal power tank, and the compact Taconi Powerhead, which is such a flimsy piece of crap. But this one, like, I don't know, this thing doesn't, like, the neck feels very cheap. Doesn't seem to really make very good contact with the carpet when you're actually using it. Like, there's no height adjustment. I do like that it has a LED strip with headlights on the front. So yeah, and I don't really love the hose either. Like, it's this very kind of stiff feeling wire reinforced one. It's not like a modern lightweight crush proof hose. Like, I feel like the best part of this vacuum are the Lux International parts, like the canister unit. But then you get all of the Aerus Electrolux stuff, which is the hose, the wands, the power head. I don't really like those very much. But let me show, please stay there. Like, sometimes this thing like tips forward, and like I don't understand why they couldn't just put a handle lock on this, but yeah. The thing I've found the worst about this is this like ancient forehead design. Like you can see I was using it tonight to get some cat hair off the floor, but instead of a pedal, you actually have to like spin the neck around and like plug. Please get in there. There we go. And like set it to meet the flooring type. So that's weird. This doesn't seem like what you should be seeing on a vacuum that I think, like, I want to say these things cost. Now, Aerus is not very transparent about their prices, like, and by that I mean you can't find what their official MSRP on this machine is online. But I think these things cost more than like a top of the line Miele C3, and I would not want to see this hard floor tool on there. Like, I'm honestly waiting on an adapter to arrive for this so I can use my my $20 Russell Parquet tool. Like that's a better tool than this. Like, because this one, this doesn't have a like a elevation neck joint pretty much, so you always have to have it held right at this angle to clean. And like same deal with this, and I don't know, I don't think the thing maneuvers very well, and combined with the fact that the hose isn't super maneuverable, this vacuum's just not nice to use for a vacuum of its price. Like, I don't know, I really believe that, like, if you're gonna spend a lot of money on a vacuum, the kind of Goldilocks price range is $700 to $1,100. That's when you get some, like, you know, you start out with stuff like the Cibo Felix, Miele Classic C1, Cibo K3, Lindhouse Healthcare Pro, and HF6, and kind of the lower half of the price range. And all of those are going to clean excellently, be pretty nice to use, and yeah, like, their vacuums are very much worth money. Then at the upper end of the price range, you got like the Cibo E3, Miele C3 Kona, like, very nice canisters, and anything more than that, you're just kind of paying for, like, you know, maybe some extra features like automatic suction adjustment or stuff like that. And now, but this costs, like, as far as I know, it costs more than, I think I saw like 800 or 1,800 is the MSRP on this, which, I mean, if it's actually lower, like, if you were actually able to get one of these brand new for less than that, then please tell me, so, or, like, please leave a comment. I'd love to know, like, your experience with the machine, see how it, like, differs with mine. But yeah, this was a used one I got, and, like, it arrived in fine shape, but I don't know, I don't really like the underlying vacuum that much. Despite how, like, nice and pretty this vacuum looks, it does not feel that modern to me. It feels closer to my Royal Power Tank than it does my Miele S500, and both those vacuums were sold like 20 years ago. I'm probably gonna, like, piss some people off with my negativity towards this machine, and that's fair. If you like this machine, then honestly, tell me below. I'd like to, like, hear your perspective on it, because maybe I just need to give this thing a second chance, because I don't really love it. And yeah, I guess something I forgot to mention is that like, Powerhead doesn't have height adjustment, but it does have a little docking tab, which, I mean, that's kind of okay. But for whatever reason, why doesn't, like, they didn't put a docking tab on the hard floor tool? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, that's the part that, like, you would want to dock. Like, this can stand up on its own, as you see right now, but not the hard floor tool. And, like, literally every other canister, well, not the HF6 actually, and that's the criticism I have of that machine, but literally every other canister I have in this room can dock its hard floor tool, but not this thing. Like, I don't know, I feel like the high-end American vacuum manufacturer market, like Kirby, Rainbow, Aerus, Filter Queen, I think it's just kind of in a, like, it's just dead. I don't know, like, I feel like these manufacturers really need to, like, innovate and get with the times. And I mean, with this machine, like, if I was gonna, like, make some suggestions, I'd say do a crush proof hose. Basically just steal the like hose and wand setup off like Windhouse, Miele, or Sibo. Like those would be excellent. Like compared to this, like these aren't even telescopic wands. This is just like you just have these like two plastic ones. I don't get it. Other than that, okay, I do have something to say that isn't a. Well, I guess it's kind of a complaint about this one. So the actual the Lux Intelligence version of this vacuum actually has a suction control in the handle. Like you'd probably see it right here. Hopefully you can see that. I can't really see what the camera can see right now, but yeah, you'd actually be able to, you know, set the suction however you want. Yeah, you don't just have to like do the suction from the vacuum. Whereas this one, you basically just have the controls on here, which I'm gonna be honest, that's not a huge deal. I can definitely deal with that, but still, it's, I don't know, I do wonder if this would be a better vacuum if it had like the Lux Intelligence's hose, power nozzle, because it does get a different power nozzle. Actually, on the subject of Lux vacuums, there was actually a Lux Royal on eBay a while back that I kind of wish I'd grabbed. It was expensive though, it was like $300, but it was actually an actual like Swedish Lux vacuum. I believe it was a Lux Royal model, which has nothing to do with like US Electroluxes or US Royals. It's its own thing. I think the channel Vacuum Tests on YouTube has a video of one of those classic Lux Royals, but it's a cool looking machine for its age, and like that's kind of the like, and this is the cool looking machine too. Like I think the canister itself feels very high quality. It's got like good HEPA bags. From what I know, this has a really excellent filtration system. Like, I don't know, I feel like this vacuum just, its potential is kind of ruined by the crappy hose and wand attachments and power head it comes with. I don't know, I went into this kind of like venting about this vacuum, how I didn't like, but now I just feel bad about it. Like, this thing, it should be better. I don't know. I don't know, I never really grew up with any Electroluxes, so I didn't really have any like nostalgia for them. But I did want to try this because this kind of seemed like the apex of Electrolux design. Like, there's so few I want to pick up. Like, I always found the Renaissances to be very nice looking machines from the pictures I've seen of them. Model Ds are really nice. The Model 30 and the Model 45 are XXX and LX. I always thought they were called like, you know, XXX and LX, but I think it's actually Roman numerals. I think those are beautiful vacuums, and this is a beautiful vacuum too, but I don't know. I feel like this should be better. But let's show it cleaning. And I think it'll do a fine job. Like, I don't want to say this is like, you can do so much worse than this. Like, I'm sure any department store vacuum can do worse than this, but I think I just have super high standards for a vacuum. So, and I think this thing actually has a pretty long cord, like maybe, oh, I don't know what it is exactly. I think it might be long, like in 30-foot range, which is that's excellent for a canister. And I forgot this thing doesn't have like soil casters on the bottom, so I can't just kick it out of the way. I have to actually pull it out of the way like that. That thing feels like it's going to go over. You have two docking points on this vacuum. I guess that's kind of normal, but yeah, you got one on the side and one on the underside of the vacuum, which is interesting. But yeah, let's just clean with it. The canister itself is super quiet, which I love. Like, I love a good quiet vacuum. But the power head's very loud. Y'all probably saw that from the Pro Team video I recorded. Somehow, I like that Pro Team a lot better, even though it's got a similar power head. But anyways, I'll, trying to think of how I want to do this. I'll actually start off in the vertical mode, or set vertically so y'all can see the power settings. So yeah, it's super quiet. I like that a lot. And then we can get it to go crazy low. Like, I mean, even on its high setting, you can have a conversation. But yeah, this is super quiet. Also has an auto setting, which like I found it usually just runs the vacuum at a very like one of the middle power settings, which seems a little bit weak. Like I usually just leave it set up at max because I mean even at max it's super quiet. All right, let's get back to you. Very nice headlight on this one. Okay, it's taking a lot of stuff to find it. This is a lot of stuff compared to the other vacuums. I think that's more stuff down. See if I can reduce that, so to speak. Yeah, this is the last video of the night, so I can kind of use all the what do you call it, all cereal. Yeah, that's just missing a lot. Like, say you need to, I don't know, hide dusting or something, or maybe I need to put a new brush roll in. I don't know what. It does feel like the worker pretty low. Like, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but yeah. Yeah, that is the Aerus Guardian Platinum. Very much one of those never meet your heroes vacuums. Kind of like the Miele S7. I wanted a Miele S7 for a super long time. I got the Miele S7 and I kind of, it's definitely like, it's maybe one of my least favorite vacuums. Sometimes, I mean, there have been vacuums that surprised me, like the, like that low K2 right there. I really like that thing. I think that's excellent. Or the Hoover 1 Power HEPA. But yeah, I don't know if this vacuum is a victim of my expectations or if it's like actually like, I don't know. I just feel conflicted about this thing. I guess I don't know. I'm glad I didn't buy this thing brand new. Let's just leave it off at that. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I'm thinking I might do some actual full reviews of some of these vacuums, like maybe do some like, you know, X4 versus the Felix, or Felix versus Healthcare Pro, the Coney Corliss versus 1 Power HEPA. If y'all have any interest in that, or in me doing like kind of a more structured, more well-produced, less off-the-cuff comparison of these vacuums, in, please let me know. Anyways, yeah, have fun vacuuming your houses, and yeah, thanks for watching.